A very good afternoon to one and all present here. I request everyone to be seated. Before starting the event, we request everyone to keep your phone on silent. The event is being live streamed on the sbvuac.in/live website.
We would like to celebrate the aura of the room by quoting Nelson Mandela. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Greetings to one and all present here. For today's event,
I urge everyone to look to your left and then to your right. What do you see? For our alumni, it's a room of nostalgia filled with happiness and joy.
for our freshmen, this room is full of hope, inspiration, courage to perform outstanding achievements on their journey.
For our juniors, a happy epiphany that you're amongst the high achievers and our alumni who have paved their way to excellence and here on this prestigious day to be celebrated for the same. We hope you look upon them for inspiration to achieve higher and bigger things.
Thank you to each and every one of you for being here today. We are pleased to welcome those who have here been with us as well as those who are new to the family. A warm welcome to all present here to celebrate our Maiden Institution Day 2022. Indira Gandhi Institute of Dental Sciences, Sri Balaji Vidyapeeth.
We now request you all to rise up for the SBV anthem.
Education gives humility. Humility gives character. From character, one gets wealth. From wealth, one gets righteousness. In righteousness, there is joy.
Thank you. Kindly be seated.
Leadership is not something that can be learnt or taught. Rather, it is a virtue that is developed and polished with time. Leadership is the act of leading and guiding a team in a manner that the success of one is directly linked to the success of the team. And we consider ourselves lucky to have with us our torchbearer, none other than our beloved principal, sir, Professor Savarnakumar R. We invite our beloved principal, sir, Professor R. Savarnakumar, to welcome and address the gathering.
Yeah, good afternoon to one and all. Every year is a day that's marked to celebrate the hard work and success of a bunch of people who have demonstrated their academic prowess and who are the core of the accolades earned by this institute. This day is crowned by the recognition bestowed on a selected few of this illustrious alumni. Igids of SBV proudly announces its first institute day on this day, the 6th of May, 2022, in the new normal. We want to appreciate them for having taken up the responsibility to conduct the first Institute Day. So thank you, Student Council. See, apart from being where only the student receive accolades, today is also a day to recognize the Student Council and welcome the freshers. So thank you, the new SBVNs or IGADs who have joined us. So the freshers or the ones who are going to be the torchbearers for IGADs, welcome you all to this family. So working together is actually a success. And today at IGADs, we want to give you much more today. So kindly get ready for the adventure. So thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir. Sir, we request you to felicitate our chief guest, Professor R.S. Neelakandan, sir, and our guest of honor, Vice Chancellor, Professor Subhash Chandra Parija, sir. When light illuminates darkness, it can first be offensive. We get comfortable in the dark, unable to see. But once our eyes adjust, we realize how much we had missed.
The inaugural lamp, called the Kutavilaka or Mangal Deep, is a votive lamp dedicated to proceedings being inaugurated. The lamp thus signifies a walk away from the darkness into the light, symbolizing a beginning of a new journey. I now request all our dignitaries on the dais to proceed with the ceremonial lighting of the lamp.
शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणं आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणं आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपो हरतु मे पापं सन्ध्यादीपनमोऽस्तु ते ओ दीपब्रह्मरूपस्त्वं
Thank you so much, sirs and madam.
It is my pleasure to introduce our chief guest for the day, Professor R.S. Neelakandan, sir, a pioneer in the field of oral and maxillofacial surgery since 1987. Currently serving as the Honorable Vice Chancellor at the Meenakshi Academy of Higher Education and Research, he has completed advanced craniofacial and distraction osteogenesis training at the Leipzig University, Germany. He is specially interested in surgical oncology, reconstructive and regenerative surgery. He has qualified for the fellowship in head and neck oncology and has been awarded by the International Federation of Head and Neck Oncologic Society and the Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, New York, USA.
He has published over 50 scientific papers and has authored Manual on Distraction Osteogenesis. In addition, he has successfully organized and conducted several lectures, hands-on workshops, and symposia under the aegis of Association of Oral and Maxillofacial Surgeons of India and the National Association of Plastic Surgeons of India at various dental colleges throughout the country. He has conducted extensive research in the field of distraction osteogenesis of the facial skeleton and has earned notable patents for distraction devices during his tenure. We welcome you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us here today at SBVU. We are privileged to have you as our chief guest. Thank you so much, sir. And now, it is my honor to introduce our guest of honor, our very own Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Subhash Chandra Parija. his contribution in the field of microbiology is tremendous. He is one of the very few microbiologists in India to be conferred the Doctorate of Science, that is the highest degree in research, for his contribution to the field. Professor Paraja currently configures among the 2% of the top scientists in the world in tropical medicine. He is the author of more than 400 scientific papers, has published several patents, copyrights, and has technology transfer.
Besides being a member of several respected clubs, such as the Royal College of Parasitology, London, International Academy of Medical Sciences, Delhi, Expert Committee of Food and Agriculture, World Health Organization, he is also the founder of the Indian Academy of Tropical Parasitology, a scientific journal in parasitic diseases. The list of Professor Parija's accomplishments thus goes on. We welcome you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Proceeding with the scheduled events for today's afternoon, that one most of us are waiting for.
Achievement is connected with action. Successful people keep moving. They make mistakes, they acknowledge it, they learn, and they grow from it. But they don't quit. And great achievers are driven not so much by the pursuit of success, but by the fear of failure. And today, we are here to celebrate and felicitate the high achievers of this esteemed institute.
I request our esteemed guest, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Meenakshi Academy of Higher Education and Research, Professor R.S. Neelakandan sir, and Honorable Vice Chancellor SBV, Professor Subhash Chandra Parja sir, to award the winners as we call out the names. Starting with the batch of 2020, Divya S., first overall topper in first year 2020-21, topper in general anatomy and general physiology. Next we have Divya M., second overall topper in first year, topper in biochemistry and oral histology, dental anatomy. Ashmita S., third overall topper for the first year 2020-21.
Proceeding to the batch of 2019. First, we have Nisha S., who has secured the first place as an overall topper in the first year and second year. She's also scored the highest in the subjects general anatomy, general physiology, dental materials, and general pathology. Next, we have Deepika Sri, who has secured the second place as an overall topper in the first year. She also scored the highest in the subjects of oral histology and dental anatomy. Next, we have Nisha Satish Kumar, who secured the second place as an overall topper in the second year. She also scored the highest in preclinical prosthodontics and preclinical conservative dentistry. Next, we have Madan Boj, who secured the third place as an overall topper in first year and second year. He also scored the highest in the subjects of microbiology and general pathology. Next, we have Ms. Pradiksha M., who has secured the highest in the subject of biochemistry. Next, we have Savannah A., who has scored the highest in the subject of pharmacology.
Next, from the batch of 2018, we call upon Karishma Sanjay Adkari, secured the first position as an overall topper in first year in 18 to 19 and in second year 19 to 20. She has also scored the highest in the following subjects: general anatomy, general physiology, biochemistry, microbiology, dental materials, and preclinical conservative dentistry. Next, Preeti S., who has secured second position as an overall topper in first year, 18 to 19, third position as an overall topper in second year, 19 to 20, and third year. She secured the highest score in oral histology and dental anatomy, preclinical prosthodontics, and oral pathology. Shakti Kamla Vegashini secured the third place as an overall topper in first year, 18 to 19. Meenu Smriti secured the second place as an overall topper in second year, 19 to 20. She secured the highest in the following subjects: pharmacology and general pathology. M. Achaya secured the first place as an overall topper in third year 2021. She has also scored the highest in general surgery. Jemima Jabakini secured the second place as an overall topper in third year. She's also scored the highest in general medicine. Next, we have Debarati Malakar, scored the highest in the subject of oral pathology. Calling on Aishwarya, who scored the highest in preclinical conservative dentistry. Menaka Gomati scored the highest in the subject of general medicine.
From the batch of 2017, we have Ms. Priya Kannan, who stood second as an overall topper in the second year, first position in the overall topper in the third and the final year. She has scored the highest marks in the following subjects: microbiology, preclinical prosthodontics, general medicine, periodontology, orthodontics, oral medicine and radiology, periodontics, prosthodontics, oral and maxillofacial surgery. Next, we have Ms. Maria Mary Rojan, who has secured the first position as a topper in the second year. She has also scored the highest marks in the subjects of dental materials and oral pathology. Next, we have Ms. Josephine Suja, who has secured the third position as an overall topper in the second year, second position as an overall topper in the third year, and the final year. She has also scored the highest marks in preclinical conservative, general surgery, and prosthodontics. Next is Miss Amy Susan Verghese, who has secured the third place as an overall topper in the third year. She has also scored the highest in conservative and endodontics. Next up, we have Ms. Vishma Sai, who has secured the third place as an overall topper in the final year. She has also scored the highest in oral and maxillofacial surgery. Next is Ms. Supraja Ji, who has scored the highest in the subject of general pharmacology. Next is Ms. Mithila Mohan, who has scored the highest in the subject of general pathology. Next is Ms. Nandini Devi Sivasankaran, who has scored the highest in the subject of public health dentistry. Moving to the batch of 2016, we have Dr. Sona Priyanka, who has secured the first place as an overall topper in the third year and a second place as an overall topper of the final year. She has also scored the highest in the subjects of general surgery, oral pathology, and public health dentistry. We also have Dr. Sheikh Ashik, who has secured the second place as an overall topper in the third year. He has scored the highest in the general medicine. However, Dr. Ashik could not accompany us today. His trophy will be sent to him personally. Thank you. Continue.
Next, we call on Dr. Roshan Rajani, secured the third place as an overall topper in third year, 18 to 19. He also scored the highest in the subjects periodontics, public health dentistry, conservative, and endodontics. Calling on next, Dr. Seema Devi secured the first place as an overall topper in final year 19 to 20. She also scored the highest in prosthodontics and oral and maxillofacial surgery. Calling on next, Dr. Dharini S. secured the third place as an overall topper in final year 1920. She also scored the highest in the subjects periodontics, orthodontics, oral and maxillofacial radiology. Next, we have Dr. Akshaya, who has topped the SCORE exam, Systematic Competency Oriented Education for the year 2021.
Next, we have the batch of 2015. Dr. Nitin, who has secured the first place as an overall topper of the final year 2018 to 2019. He also scored the highest in the subjects of periodontics, periodontics, public health dentistry, and oral medicine and maxillofacial radiology. Dr. Sarika S., who has secured the second place as an overall topper of the final year, she has also scored the highest in conservative and endodontics and prosthodontics. Dr. Radhika S., who has scored the highest in oral and maxillofacial surgery. Next, we have Dr. Narmada, who has scored the highest in the subject of oral medicine and radiology.
A few people who couldn't be with us today, Dr. Sujata and Dr. Jerome Rahul.
From the batch of 2015, the ones who could not be with us today are Dr. Sujata Ji, who has secured the third place as an overall topper of the final year. She has also scored the highest in the subject of orthodontics. There was Dr. Jerome Rahul, who has scored the highest in the subject of public health dentistry.
Moving on to our alumni and postgraduates from the year of 2019. From the Department of Oral Pathology and Microbiology, calling on Dr. Chitra, who topped the year in their batch. From the Department of Oral Medicine and Radiology, Dr. Manjula DC. From the Department of Periodontology and Implantology, Dr. Shivaranjani K.S. Okay. From the Department of Prosthodontics, Crown and Bridge, Dr. Anand V. Okay. From the Department of Periodontics and Preventive Dentistry, Dr. Narmada M. Acknowledging the toppers who could not be with us today, from the Department of Conservative Dentistry and Endodontics, Dr. Nandini Dimple, from the Department of Oral Maxillofacial Surgery, Dr. Sarath K, and from the Department of Orthodontics and Dentofacial Orthopedics, Dr. Lijan James. Their medals and certificates would be sent to them.
Calling upon the postgraduates for the year 2020, from the Department of Oral Pathology and Microbiology, Dr. Gayatri C. From the Department of Orthodontics and Dentofacial Orthopedics, Dr. Shehnaz Daulat. Dr. Ranjita Ramamurthy, who has topped the oral and maxillofacial surgery in the year 2020, could not be here with us today. Her trophy and her medal will be sent to her.
Calling on next from the Department of Oral Pathology and Microbiology, Dr. Aditya A.B.
From the Department of Periodontics and Preventive Dentistry, Dr. Adeline Genevieve. From the Department of Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery, Dr. Deepika Mohan. From the Department of Orthodontics and Dentofacial Orthopedics, Dr. Naufar. From the Department of Periodontology and Implantology, Dr. Srinivasan K.
A huge round of applause for all the winners. We heartfully thank our esteemed guests for awarding the winners. Sir, kindly, yes, sir. We congratulate all the winners, take immense pride in your achievements, and wish you good luck for all your endeavors. Continuing the events for today's afternoon,
Service with pride, lead and confidence, and inspire to impact lives.
and to introduce the council, we invite Vice Principal Student Affairs, Professor Shanta Devi ma'am.
Thank you. Good afternoon, one and all. I'm here to introduce the Student Council. And the Student Council plays an integral and important role in the student community. And they provide a representative structure through which students can debate issues of concern and undertake initiatives of benefit to the college and to the wider community. It is important that they are listened to and encouraged to take an active part in promoting the aims and objectives of the policy of the institution. And today, we take the immense pride, and I take the privilege in introducing the Student Council for the year 2021-22. I humbly request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Subhash Chandra Parija, sir, to badge the respective council members. Presenting to you the Student Council for the year 2021-22 under the leadership of the President, Ms. Priya Kannan. With Ms. Varshini and Ms. Hema Shri in supporting leadership role as Vice Presidents. Next, owing to the role of General Secretary is Ms. Dishari Basu, supported by the Joint Secretary, Ms. Vishma Sai. Next, I call upon the Finance Committee, headed by Finance Secretary Ms. Nitya, with the support of Ms. Kavya, Ms. Nitya Priya, Ms. Amy Susan Verghese, as Joint Finance Secretaries. Here next, we have the energetic team, the Sports Committee. The team is headed by none other than the Sports Secretary, Ms. Mitila, along with the Joint Sports Secretary, Ms. Pavitra and Ms. Priyanka Kadam. Culture opens a sense of beauty, and for that, we have the Cultural Committee, which is led by Cultural Secretary Ms. Josephine Suja, who is supported by Joint Cultural Secretary Ms. Supraja and Ms. Jane Roshni. Channeling their inner creativity, we have with us the Finance Committee. Assuming the role of Finance Secretary, we have Ms. Amy Susan Verghese. And Joint Finance Secretary, we have Ms. Drishya and Ms. Josephine Suja here. As the quote rightly says, pen is mightier than the sword. And to pen it down, we have with us the Literary Committee, headed by the Literary Secretary, Ms. Vishma Sai, along with the Joint Secretaries, Ms. Maria Mary Rojan and Ms. Dishari Basu. Now I call upon the stage the editorial committee, led by the editorial secretary, Ms. Priyanka Kadam, along with the joint editorial secretary, Ms. Adira, Ms. Joylyn Subita, and Ms. Ratna Priya. Last but not the least, as it is said, science is nothing more than refinement of everyday thinking. Yes, we have with us Ms. Soumya as a scientific secretary, Ms. Dishari Basu, Ms. Nana Soundari as joint scientific secretary. Thank you, one and all. We heartfully thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Subhash Chandra Parija, sir, for badging the Student Council for the year 2021 to 2022. Thank you, sir.
Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. On that thought, we initiate the induction program for the first years.
A new year at college means new beginnings, new adventure, new friendships, new challenges. The slate is clean and you can make anything happen for yourself. And then suddenly you realize that it's time to start something new and trust the magic of new beginnings.
On that note, we request Vice Principal of Student Affairs, Professor Shanta Devi ma'am, to welcome and acclimate our freshmen by delivering the orientation speech.
Thank you. I welcome wholeheartedly our first year BDS students. Good afternoon to one and all, and I take this opportunity as my privilege to introduce the organogram and the various functional committees of Igids that works towards the welfare of the student as a whole team. To start with, a small introduction about the journey of our institution, which was started in the year 2006 with the undergraduate course under the Pondicherry University, which eventually had the pride of being under the SBV University from the year 2009. In the year 2012, 8 departments started as PG program with an intake of 3 students per year per department, and in 2019, IGIDS started functioning as a full-fledged PG college with intake of postgraduate students in all 9 departments. The entire team is led by our beloved principal, Professor R. Saravanakumar, who leads the IGIDS with concern and passionate about the quality education for the young, and also believe in providing an environment where the individuals are valued by bringing the best out of them. The team is also supported by the Vice Principals, Professor R. Satyanarayanan and Professor Shanta Devi, heads of the department and faculties of various other departments. For efficient functioning of the institution, various committee has been constituted towards the administration, student-related and patient care, which will be introduced in the following slides. I take the privilege to introduce Professor Veyavendan, Associate Dean, Research, who promotes research publication and facilitates both extramural and intramural grants for both undergraduate students and postgraduate students. I introduce Dr. Rajkumar, Deputy Registrar for the proper and proactive functioning of registry and responsible for the student conduct, discipline and appeal. I introduce Dr. Suganya, the Deputy Controller of University Examination, who holds the responsibility to conduct university examination and the declaration of the results. First and foremost, I would like to introduce the batch coordinators who take the responsibility of that particular batch of students in all aspects of academics. I introduce Dr. Lydia, first year BDS, for the first year BDS, Dr. Shivashankari for the second year BDS, Dr. Suganya for the third year BDS, Dr. John for the final year BDS, and Dr. Shivaraman Krishnan as intern coordinator. To introduce the most important committee, the Mentor and Mentee Committee, every student is allotted with a mentor, and the role of the mentor is to identify the student's resource to enhance personal development and career growth throughout their course. The member secretary, Professor Vidya Lakshmi, along with the team members, schedule the mentees to meet the mentors every alternative Saturday. I introduce our student counselor, Ms. Josephine and Mrs. Priya Philip, who enable the students to adapt to the college life from the school life and also to enhance communication with their faculties. They conduct frequent orientation programs to sensitize these students to the college life and to upgrade their belief in themselves so as to increase their self-esteem to achieve a great level of success. This committee is important for the higher education institutional mechanism, which is headed by Professor Jagat Reddy sir, head of the Department of Oral Medicine and Radiology, along with his team members. This committee constitutes anti-ragging squad, flying squad, as well as night duty squad, where the faculties are even posted in both gents and ladies hostel for the evening, from the evening to the next day morning on routine schedule to have a vigilant. The committee convenes a regular monitoring meeting and sensitization programs by the member from the Dental Council of India for both freshers as well as the senior student, such as safety and security confidence building measures in our institution achieves zero tolerance for ragging. To maintain the discipline in college and hospital premises and to achieve the goal of creating safe and motivating environment by the positive attitudes and to uptake measures for inappropriate behavior, we have our disciplinary committee headed by the head of the institution and the heads of the departments. Any form of disciplinary issues will be handled by this committee to settle the disputes in a smooth manner. Apart from this, we indulge the students in National Service Scheme and Red Ribbon Club. The member secretaries of these committees make sure that the students are involved in public service activities directed by the governmental and non-governmental organizations. We also have a vibrant yoga department in our university coordinated by Professor Sangeeta, where they practice yogic exercise that offers various benefits to the modern day students for mental health and well-being. Yes, home away from home. It's the hostel committee. The students are offered with the best hostel facilities that are designed to provide a sense of belonging, security and care, as well as the spirit of independence within limits. Separate hostels are provided for the girls and boys, and every hostel is supervised by the senior warden and managed by the caretakers. Added to this, the hostel committee members of IGIDS provides moral and emotional support and guidance to the inmates. Sri Balaji Vidyapith is a quality-conscious and stakeholder-friendly institution which adopts all possible measures to ensure a safe, secure, and comfortable campus for the student stakeholders. The institution adopts the offline and online redressal mechanism, especially the grievance redressal mechanism, and the students of this institute can approach the cell to voice the grievance either in person or may drop a note in the portal, which is be attended and rectified by the constituted committee members. This cell is constituted by the team members to extend the helping hands for the betterment of the students, headed by Professor Vedavendan and his team members. A well-good ambient library hall monitored by Dr. Hanumant and his team with special care to fulfill the recommended books and journals, and also to ensure utility of the library service by the students. The students' academic progress is efficiently organized and monitored by the Internal Assessment Committee, who conducts 3 internals across the academic year, which aids in evaluating the students' progress periodically, which is monitored by Dr. Shivaramakrishnan and his team. The Parent Teachers Association, headed by Professor Vedavendan, coordinates along with the Internal Assessment Committee, and the batch coordinator conducts a parent-teachers meet regularly after every interval, so that the students' academic status and attendance are brought to the knowledge of the parents. Dr. Janani, coordinator for the feedback committee, obtains and analyzes the feedback from the students, faculty, which is used for the basis for further improvement for the students. To foster academic and co-curricular enhancement, the Scientific Academic Forum, and to share and impart knowledge on the rare, interesting clinical cases among the students, the Clinical Society meeting conducts regular meet as per the strategic perspective plan. Institutional Ethical Committee, along with the Institutional Review Board, hand in hand scrutinizes the methodology, feasibility, and ethical issues of research proposals submitted by the students. The institution owns a peer-reviewed biannual Journal of Scientific Dentistry, with the aim to provide a platform for research, for sharing and disseminating high-quality evidence-based knowledge among the clinicians and students. The academic contribution and achievements of the students submitted to the Chronicle is compiled every quarterly by Professor Shivashakti and well audited by the Internal Quality Assurance Cell. I introduce Dr. Hanumant and his team, who ensure quality and initiative and assurance in all aspects of the institute activity, which is as per the policy proposed in accordance with the Internal Quality Assurance Cells of Sri Balaji Vidyapith. The institutional website updates the current events and information achieved by the students and is updated by Dr. Suganya and her team members. The dental education unit is efficiently coordinated by Professor Shivashakti, and the team members were faculty development program in the science of education for teachers as well as these students, and to suggest constructive curricular changes to improve educational research quality for the students. And our pride to have our alumni with us in all endeavors, which is well coordinated by Professor Vedavendan, who consistently and coherently binds the alumni to the alma mater. With this, we welcome the first year, batch 2022, and good luck with the new academic year. You'll do great. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
To be inspired is great. To inspire is incredible. And to enlighten us all with his words of wisdom and inspiration, we hereby invite our chief guest, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Meenakshi Academy of Higher Education, Professor R.S. Neelakandan sir, to deliver the keynote address to a bunch of inquisitive minds gathered here today. Sir.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, professors, teachers, parents, and my dear students. A very good afternoon to you all. It's a great pleasure for me to be standing before you all today at the Institute Day Celebration Induction Program and Badging Ceremony of the Student Council of 2022 at Indira Gandhi Institute of Dental Science, Sri Balaji Vidyapith, Pondicherry. For many of your seniors and teachers, the annual Freshers' Day is a part of the rhythm of college life. But for you, the students, it is an important beginning to your phase of life, a phase of life that is very likely to shape the rest of it. I would like to formally welcome you to the profession that I have been part of it for 4 decades by now. It is a profession that has given me a lot, and all I had to give it in return was my hard work and due diligence. You have been blessed to take up this noble profession in one of the most reputed universities in the country. See, Balaji Vidyapith. This is one of the fastest growing universities that I have seen in the country today, and the students have the privileged access to the most advanced and innovative teaching and learning processes. Now, as a teacher and as an academician in this field for the past 35 years, who has been invited to speak at Freshers' Day ceremony, I am expected to give you an orientation about what to expect in your future. And I am sure you are expecting a very grim and dark, and not to mention an unbelievably boring lecture about how our field is saturated and how there are lakhs of dentists out there and how we all lack opportunities. A few years back, I read a letter to the editor from a dentist from Tamil Nadu only that was published in the British Journal. He was very depressed about the state of dentistry in India. There were many statistics, like one dentist for 10,000 and odd people, and that by 2025, over 1 lakh dentists will be more in supply than required. You know, I like to look at with a little bit optimism. Ours is an age-old profession from the medieval times, and we are still thriving. Why? Because of the amount of processed sugars that we consume today. As long as processed sugars are there, we will have our profession, the dental decay. By 2030, our population will also be increasing, and I believe that these statistics are just considering the number of dentists graduating and not the number of practicing dentists available for the 1.3 billion strong population of our country. The truth is, many graduates are not practicing dentistry at all. Many get into civil administration. You could also join the Army Dental Corps, like what I did in my initial days, and which not only the dental joining army gives you a professional satisfaction, but also it provides you with many opportunities, exposing you to not just to the profession, but also to various fields of administration. That's why over the past 30 years, I have been in my active surgical practice, and now I'm into administration, thanks to my army career. Many find greener pastures abroad, mainly in US, UK, Canada, and Australia, which are all, I must say, are good options. And many just become dentist brides. I find a lot of girls getting into the dental profession, and they have all a very bright future being the dentist brides. And the software engineers abroad, they are longing to get married to dental girls. That is a very inspiring thing for the girls who have joined dentistry. And just graduating with a doctor's certificate so that they can marry a Silicon Valley genius with a doctor's degree. Many others are going into the field like medical transcription. You know, it is evident how times have changed. Nowadays, even the patients are well read about the treatment options available to them thanks to the Google. Back in my day, we didn't have fixed orthodontics. There were only removable appliances for everything. The patients were so skeptical at the suggestion of premolar extractions to correct occlusion and aesthetics, but now they themselves come and ask directly with a YouTube video for orthodontic surgery because they don't want to wait 18 months for orthodontic correction. In my time, there was no department of community dentistry or periodontia. There were no RCTs, no implants, extractions and RPDs were our only ammunition. Even oral surgeons got to fix only the mandibular fractures. All other facial fractures and oral cancers were treated by plastic surgeons. But today, we oral surgeons treat panfacial traumas and even skull-based surgeries. With the recent trends in specialty practice, I have noticed many a student who are children of medical professionals joining dentistry simply because dentistry is already a specialized subset of medicine. So that is my message to you all today. I urge you to arm yourself with various skills and widen your prospects. I want to conclude by pointing out that maybe the future appears bleak and difficult to some of you, but I hope my optimism has rubbed off at least a little bit on you all. Always be positive, eat well, pray fervently, and love what you do with all your heart. Persevere, and you will be blessed with success. I wish you all the very best in life. Thank you all for patient listening.
Thank you so much, sir. Your words would definitely stay with us for a very long time.
As John Maxwell said, a leader is one who shows the way, goes the way, and knows the way. We are honored with the gracious presence of Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Subhash Chandra Parija amongst us here today. Sir, a kind request to deliver a special address to the gathering here today.
Good afternoon, dear our Professor Nilakantan, today's chief guest of our function, Professor Shravan Kumar, Principal, Igids, Professor R. Satyanarayanan, Vice Principal, Professor Santa Devi, Vice Principal, and all the heads of the institutions, dear faculties, and above all, my dear students, undergraduates and postgraduates. At the outset, on behalf of the big family of Sri Balaji Vidyapit, popularly referred to as SBV, and on behalf of our esteemed Chancellor, Sri M. K. Rajgopalan, and on my behalf, I congratulate all the students for their achievements and being receiving certificates, awards, and medals. Congratulate you all. Again, I also take this opportunity to welcome the first year students to our Igids, one of the most progressive, growing dental science college in our universities, SBV. And I thank our members of the Student Council for having taken active role in the student councils and showing their interest in learning the components of the management of these Igids. It's really interesting to know. I was hearing with interest Dr. Nilakantan's very short and concise address to our students. Now, in this 21st century, all sciences, in health sciences, including medical, nursing, physiotherapy, and dental science, every science is developing by leaps and bounds. And coming to dental science, the way we are taught as a medical graduate, that time dentistry was a very minor component. But now things have developed a lot, and we have seen a tremendous progress and development in the dental sciences. And our university, SBV, Sri Balaji Vidyapit, have been making all the inputs all the possible efforts to make learning experience, teaching experience, academic and clinical experience in Faculty of Destiny a memorable experience in our campus IGIDS. I like to share for Dr. Nilakantha's information that our dental college in our university has been contributing immensely not only to dental education in specifically, but in different components of dental science. You will be happy to know that we are IGIDS is one of the few institutes in the country to have a separate dental education unit, because unlike medicine, where the medical education unit is a must and mandatory, but here we do have a dedicated dental education. That speaks the thrust given by the universities to promote dental educations in the way it should be taught in 21st century. In addition to that, this IGIDS has taken a leading role in starting one Academy Association of the Dental Educationists, and that speaks the volume how proactive IGIDS is promoting dental education, not only in our universities, across the country. And research, the dental college IGIDS has contributed immensely to the entire scenario of Sri Balaji Vidyapith SBV, and that is in specific to that of intellectual property rights that translated to copyrights, patents, technology transfers. Incidentally, in our universities, the first patent that came in our universities was from the dental college here, and that's why we have got a very strong, interesting faculties, Professor Sandel, who has been pioneering and spearheading the concept of these patent IPR activities in our universities. His strong role, support of the universities, and support of the management, you will be happy to know that we have made a long journey from a mere 20 to 25 patents. Now we have published more than 270 patents in our universities. We have published more than around 300 copyrights in our universities. And above all, one of the most important things is that we have successfully commercialized products, and that also from dental college, dental chair. This reflects the ethos of our universities, Sri Balaji Vidyapiths, which always puts on high esteems our thrust and motivations on the IPR activities, giving a newer ambience to our students, faculties as well. Having told that, we are also encouraging our faculties across different sciences, medical science, dental science, and nursing in online and contributing to the national program of the MOOC and Divya Mitra. You will be happy, as I know, one of the very young, dynamic faculty, Dr. Janani, was the first in our universities to contribute to the MOOC, and that's also from dental faculties. In addition to that, I'm confident that there's a lot of work has been done in the clinical dentistry. As in this 21st century, particularly in the developing country like India, who are making tremendous development in economic scenario, people have become much more economically strong, and that is being reflected in the development of the dentistry in terms of conservative dentistry, cosmetic dentistry, and the most recent advances that has been taking place and thrust in dental science is the oral cancer research. So this is all an interesting scenario. I wish all our students, those who are entering here as first year science, and those undergraduate students who are completing to go for avenues for the postgraduate students, and those postgraduate students who are completing to become and to diversify into different activities, whether they become a teacher, a faculties, or a practice in dentistry, or become a core research worker. Field is immense. Their difference of research, the difference between the science, medical science, dental science, nursing science is being minimized. All have the opportunity equally to contribute, provided students, they become motivated, they become focused on the career, and I wish they must contribute more to the academics, and they must contribute to the community dentistry that takes care of the dental care of this community, this society at large. As we know, in this 21st century, there has been an increase in the old age populations with life expectancy high, increasing from 60 to 70s. You have a lot of people not with other old age problems like physical disabilities and rehabilitations, but they do have a problem of dentistry. I wish geriatric dentistry should focus on these aspects that's to confine to the need of the geriatric populations, which is not becoming in India, but worldwide. So there are many opportunities and situations in which I am confident our students, we have been trying to them change their mindset, not going traditionally for that same practice, but be receptive that opportunities are plenty, but maybe this is not common path all your seniors have followed, but you can follow different paths and excel in different fields which you like. That should be some of your options which you plan your careers. Again, with these few words, I thank sincerely Professor Nilakantan, who has been a very good friend of mine. I visited his institutes in the year 2016 as a chief guest to inaugurate the research day. Since that time, we are professionally connected. I was impressed with the infrastructures and the facilities of that medical college when I visited Chennai campus. I wish we should move forward here to attain that level of competency. I'm thankful, Dr. Nikandan. I know you are personally busy with so many activities, but you could make your time to visit and inspire our students and distribute the prizes to the people that will motivate all these young people. Thank you very much for your presence.
Thank you so much, sir, for empowering us today.
And now, to conclude today's event, I'd like to call on stage Vice Principal in Administration, Igids, Professor R. Satyanarayanan, sir, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you. Good afternoon. On behalf of the organizing committee of the Institute Day of Igids, I take this opportunity to thank everyone on behalf of Igids who had contributed to the success of today's event. First and foremost, we thank our Chancellor, Sri M.K. Rajagopalan sir, and Vice Chairman, Dr. Prashant Rajagopalan, for providing us an opportunity to host Institute Day 2022. We would like to sincerely thank our guest, Professor R.S. Neelakandan sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Meenakshi Academy of Higher Education, who had readily agreed our invite to be the chief guest for today's event. Thank you, sir. Sir, you have inspired us all with your thought-provoking speech. We now profoundly thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Subhash Chandra Parija sir, who has always been an inspiration as well as guiding star for our institute in academics, research, patient care, outreach activities, and IPR activities. Thank you, sir, for being us today. We thank our Registrar, Professor A.R. Srinivasan sir, Professor Sitesh Ghosh, Dean MGMCRI, Professor Nirmal Kumar, MS MGMCRI, Professor Renuka Madam, Principal KGNC, for your gracious presence today. We sincerely acknowledge our GM Admin Madam, Professor Asha Suresh Babu, for guiding us for the successful conduct of today's event. We thank all other management administrative staff for being present here for today's event. An event of this dimension cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling days in advance. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated student committee members and volunteers. On behalf of our team IGIDS, we sincerely acknowledge the efforts of our principal, Professor Sarana Kumar sir, Vice Principal Dr. Shanta Devi Madam, all the heads and faculty of various departments of IGIDS, non-teaching staff, and student volunteers for making this event an enjoyable one. We also thank all the staff from project, maintenance, lecture hall in charge, and IT team for their seamless efforts for the success of today's event. Thank you is such a prayer that cannot be seen or touched. It must be felt by heart. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Marking an end to today's festivities, I'd like to quote Graham Greene, saying, "One story has no beginning or end. Arbitrarily, one chooses that moment of experience from which one decides to look back or from which one decides to look ahead."
And I hope today is the day where each and every one sitting inside this room chooses to look ahead in life, a life full of possibilities, a life full of hope, a life full of fulfillment, a life full of chances, a life full of risks, and a life that you would look back and smile and think to yourself that these were the best days of my life.
We now request everyone to kindly stand up for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you all, dignitaries, Principal Sir, Vice Principal Sir, Vice Principal Ma'am, and our faculty in charges for helping us throughout the way. And thank you, audience, for being so patient and understanding. A special mention to the organizing team, that is none other than the Student Council. You've been a rock-solid support even when we have to agree to disagree. Thank you so much, everyone. We now request everyone to join us outside for the high tea. Thank you.